So the first time that I'd heard Alana's story, my friend Mark had posted on Facebook a video that Alana had done speaking to a Jewish women's organization where she had won an award. And I was really struck by something she said in the video. She had said that the reason that so few people know about ovarian cancer is that, in her words, plainly speaking, there are so few survivors. Then she went on to talk about some statistics about ovarian cancer and the fact that most women, I think it's something like 85%, are diagnosed at a late stage. It's called the cancer that whispers because the symptoms are so subtle that a lot of women don't really go to their doctors or go do any investigations until later on. And that if you're diagnosed in a late stage, 90% of the women who are diagnosed at a late stage basically die within 10 years. So that was a pretty shocking statistic. My dad's an OBGYN, and so I started talking to him about it and said to him, well, I don't understand because obviously a pap smear. And he said, oh, Leigh, you know that a pap smear is cervical cancer, not ovarian. And I was like, oh yeah, of course. But that's a very common problem, is that a lot of people think that they're protected because of a pap smear when really they're not. So I just started, it just struck me that if more women actually knew about ovarian cancer, maybe there was something we could do to change this and to turn it around. Kind of stuck in my head, and I woke up one morning and I had an idea. So I called up Alana and Mark and said, if the problem is there's not enough survivors, what we need to do is we need to bring all the survivors together to tell their stories and maybe create this collective voice. And maybe if we bring all the stories together of all the people who actually are currently surviving ovarian cancer and their family and friends, or other people whose families are no longer here to tell the story for them, if we could actually bring everybody together in this collective voice, that, the whisper could really turn to a shout. And then we can get women to say, come to this site, learn about the symptoms of ovarian cancer, listen to the stories, so that if your friend or someone you know has these symptoms, you'll get them to put it on their table when they go to their family doctor. So that's basically what we've been working on for the last 5 months. And that's what we really hope to accomplish. We want to turn the whisper into a shout. We want, maybe it sounds ambitious, we want everybody who's been touched by ovarian cancer in the world, and there's a lot of people who have been, to put their stories up here, to tell their family stories, to talk about it, to share their experiences, and then have people actually tell other people. Because as women, we need to listen to our own bodies. We need to really listen to these very subtle whispering symptoms, and we need to go and get help. We need to make sure our doctors know about this, because a lot of people, even the medical community, miss the symptoms as they did with Alana, so that nobody will suffer what Alana's been experiencing going through this process of surviving cancer. So I hope everybody shares the URL around. It's timetoshout.com and uploads their story, and I hope collectively our voices will turn it into a shout, and maybe a year from now, 5 years from now, 10 years from now, things will change.